Hey guys, Logan here from Popular Woodworking Magazine. You know, as woodworkers, I think a lot of us dream about building a project with hand-cut joinery and no fasteners. But in reality, a lot of the times, that may not be the best way to build that project. Sometimes putting a fastener, like a screw in the project, is actually the stronger and the right way to build that joint. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through choosing screws to match your project, and it's going to leave you with a project that's built to last. Now, the biggest thing to remember with screws is not all screws are created equal. There are certain features and different things on screws that you need to pay attention to make sure you end up with a fastener that's going to work exactly how you want. Now, let me give this scenario to you. How many times have you driven a screw into the edge of a workpiece and the wood just instantly cracks out? Now, that's probably because you have not chosen the right screw for that application. Another common issue is the head just completely strips out. That could be from not having the right thread, not having the right driver style, but choosing the right screw will help avoid any of those issues. So how do you choose the right type of screw? Well, if you start looking at a screw manufacturer's website, you're going to find a vast variety of screws, literally thousands of different SKUs for different screw styles. So I spent a little bit of time with Greg from Quick Screws to kind of figure out the lay of the land on screw sizes and styles that really are applicable to us in our shops. And there's a couple of things that you need to know when choosing screws. So the first thing we need to look at is the screw size. Now, if we look at these boxes of Quick Screws here, we can see that the sizes are labeled on the box. We have something like a number 7 by 1.25 inches. We have a number 8 by 1.25 inches. We have a number 10 by 3 inches. Now that first number is the diameter of the screw. The larger the number, a number 10 for example, is larger than something like a number 7. A number 4 down here is even smaller still. Let me open these boxes and show you what I mean. So here is a number 7 screw, and this is the number 10. Now you can see that the screw diameter on that number 7 is much smaller than that number 10 diameter. And let's open up this number 4. And right away, you can tell that those number 4s are much smaller than either the number 7 or the number 10. And this can really be illustrated by measuring the screw with a set of calipers. So just to put some numbers to this, this is the number 10 screw, and if I put the calipers on there, that screw diameter is 0.136 inches. Going smaller to the number 7, that is 0.109. Going down even smaller to this number 4, that is 0.090. So you can see that that first number when you're looking at screw sizes really talks about the diameter. And we want to make sure that we're choosing the right diameter for our application. Something like installing a piano hinge, for example. You're better off using a bunch of little number 4s or number 6 screws than you are using a bunch of number 7s. Because you have more fasteners, they can be a little bit smaller, and they're a little bit smaller profile. Likewise, you wouldn't use a number 4 to attach two pieces together on edge. Instead, something like a number 7 here would fit that application much better. Now, of course, the diameter of the screw is one of the factors you need to talk about or think about. The other is the length of the screw. So the rule of thumb is if you're attaching two pieces together, I like to shoot for a screw that is 2 to 3 times the length as thickness of the parts you're attaching. Now, of course, we don't want the screw to poke out the other side. So if you're attaching 2 3/4 inch pieces together on the faces, you have 1.5 inch thick material. Usually I'm reaching for 1.25 inch screw there. However, if I'm attaching a 3/4 inch piece of material on edge to another piece where I have more length there, I'm going to aim for a screw that's 2 to 2.25 inches long. That's going to give me plenty of holding power. Now, of course, the size of the screw is just one of the factors. The next thing we need to talk about is the thread style. That's what I like about these labels on the quick screw boxes is they provide a lot of information on there and it's easy to see. The third item down is the thread type. Now I think we all kind of know that traditional mentality that fine threads are for hardwoods and coarse threads are for softwoods. And I think there's some truth to that, but that's not the entire story. You can mix and match if you have the right type of screw. But another option is a type of thread like this from Quick Screw called a high-low thread. And when you look at it, it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a thread style that combines both high threads and low threads, and this provides a lot of holding power with minimal strip out. Now, of course, the threads are not the entire story. While we're on this business end, let's take a look at the tip as well. And going back to the label, that is one of the next items is the point type. Is it a type 17 point like this number 8 by 2.5, or is it a sharp spiral point like these number 4s? And I think this has a lot to do with how the screw enters the wood and whether you need to pre-drill or not. And with the right type of point, you don't need to pre-drill. And we'll talk about pre-drilling here in a few minutes, but let's take a look at the tip first. So this style of tip is what is called a type 17 point from Quick Screws. This is a slit tip that kind of pre-drills as you drive the screw into place. So it's removing material, making room for the screw to enter the wood without that splitting. Now, there is another type available, and this is a completely different looking screw, and we'll talk about this one in a bit. But this is the funnel head screw, and this is still a type 17 point, but this also combines spiral threads here at the tip. And what this is designed for is to enter material like MDF or particle board without causing a ton of tear out. But for most of our shop items, something like this type 17 point is really what you're looking for. It's going to allow a clean entry into the material, and it's going to avoid that splitting issue without pre-drilling. Now, kind of keeping in the theme with looking at the labels here, the other thing we want to talk about is the opposite end of the business point, and that is the head shape. And there's a couple of different head shapes and a couple of different applications where you would choose one versus another. So let me open up a few of these so we can get different shapes out. So I think most of us are pretty familiar with this kind of flat head style look. And this is kind of my go-to utility screw in the shop. If I'm attaching materials together and I'm countersinking a hole, this is what I am using. However, there are styles like this, such as these ones from Quick Screws, that have nubs on the bottom side that will actually countersink the head as you drive it in place. So you can avoid that step altogether. But that is kind of my go-to shop screw, is that flat head style, of course, with a square or a combo drive on it. But other ones that we use very regularly are something like this pan head style. And these are great for pocket screws. So anytime you're driving pocket screws, you don't want that kind of tapered head where it could split out the work from the inside. You want the square holding power of this pan head, again, in a Robertson drive. And then when you need more holding power and you don't necessarily care about how flush the head is sitting, something like this washer head screw works really well. And this is where I would go to something much larger, like this large washer head style. If I'm hanging something on the wall like cabinets or clamp racks, anything I'm driving into a wooden stud and I'm attaching to the wall, these are generally what I'm reaching for. Now, there is another style from Quick Screws that is a really cool application for MDF and particle board, and probably even some plywood as well, and that is what they call their funnel head screw. And this funnel head screw has a completely different shape to the head. Now I want to distinguish the difference between the flat head here and the funnel head. You can see the different profiles on those. And what this guy is meant to do is to attach those kind of lightweight, non-grain structure materials together, like MDF or particle board. And this head shape kind of drills a perfect counterbore in the material as you're driving it without pre-drilling, and it offers a lot of holding power. And then the final thing to consider is going to be what type of material the screw is made out of. For most of our in-shop stuff, standard screws that are made of plain steel are exactly what we need. But if you're working with something that's going to be outside, say you're working on an outdoor piece of furniture, you may consider going with something that is plated or stainless steel. That's going to last out in the weather and it's not going to stain your material. Okay, so that's a lot of material on choosing screws. Now, don't worry, I will leave a link down below to some of the kind of cheat sheets that Quick Screws has available on their website, so you can reference all of that when you're done with this video. But I want to leave you with what screws I choose and hold in my shop and kind of keep on hand, and those between those 4 screws cover 95% of what I'm doing. The first is I like to have some of the flat head screws with a coarse thread and a type 17 point. Those are kind of my everyday go-to screws for attaching things together, mainly where those screws are not going to be shown. Now, I will also keep the pan head screws available, and I use those when I'm doing pocket holes. I keep those in a couple of different lengths. Those usually have that high-low thread because a lot of times when I'm using pocket holes, it's in plywood, and that high-low does really well there. Also with the type 17 point. And then I keep a couple of sizes of these big washer head screws available. As I mentioned before, those are for attaching stuff to the walls. Something like my tool cabinet or the sawtill, that's what I use to attach to the wall. Now, I don't use this one as commonly, but I also keep kind of these specialty screws like these funnel head screws on hand. And these work really well when I'm attaching non-like materials or when I'm attaching into MDF or particle board, stuff like that. Now, of course, there are some tips to get the best use out of these screws. I talked a little bit about pre-drilling earlier and how with the right screw, I don't think it's necessary. You can pre-drill in your shop, and I think it's a good idea if you're not confident in driving those screws straight. So a lot of times it's easier to direct a drill bit than it is a screw and start driving it. So those are instances where I will pre-drill if I'm drilling in a place that is a very precise and exact location. Sometimes pre-drilling is a good option there. Now, this other tip seems pretty obvious, but I like to make sure that all of my screws in my shop are the same drive and that I have the exact right driver for those. And the reason I like this square or this Robertson drive is because there's only a couple of sizes, unlike a Torx bit where you have a bunch of different sizes and some of them work for sizes that aren't right. With the square drives, usually a number 2 covers almost everything I do in the shop. Now, some of these screw heads do have a combo drive where you can use either a Phillips or a Robertson drive in them, but a Robertson drive is what's in my driver 95% of the time, and I know that that's going to cover whatever screws that I have. Now, my final tip is keep the screws in the box, especially with something like the Quick Screws where it gives you an exact label of what's in the box. It gives you even a picture of what that screw is. It just makes it a lot easier to keep your fasteners organized in your shop. That means that as they're stored in my hardware drawer, it gives me a quick reference. I can grab exactly what I need, and it leads to a more efficient time in the shop. So I covered a lot of material in this video, and I'll leave a link down below for kind of Quick Screws, little tips and tricks that they have on their website for choosing your fasteners. But remember, choosing the right fastener in your shop leads to a better project and a happier woodworker. We'll see you guys later.